pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Did you ever have any, well, I don't know if they had the USO shows or anything like that that time.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Did you ever get any of these musicians traveling through that would actually come and play or anything like that?
Well, let's see, I'm trying to think. There were a lot of bands that were musicians that were assigned to bands there, and well, prominent people. There was one that Ulithi Atoll, which is in the Caroline Islands, had a one of the islands was a recreation place. It was a big uh, gathering place for ships that formed convoys to go else wherever they wanted to go. And there was a real good band there.
Mm-hmm.
That was their Navy duty, was playing for this place. The island was named Mog Mog. And they had a sign at the landing, "Welcome to Mog Mog, Enchanted Isle of the Pacific." And there was, on the back side of the island, I walked back, and here was, I kid you not, a mountain of beer cans. Because everybody was issued 2 cans of beer. And of course, us officers, we went to a different area pretty much, but I did join the,
Was a recycler's dream, huh?
yeah, well, Mog Mog, which had some historical significance in the Pacific explorations and settlements.
Hmm.
So,
Huh. Um, you have a replica of the ship that you were
oh,
captain of.
yeah, I think it's going to be hard to see.
Well, no, if you can go from this side, that would be great.
Take a look at it.
'Cause that's-
Yeah, you just see, you had the pilot house on the starboard quarter, and a big anchor, two 20 millimeter machine guns. Over here is the anchor winch. The other side is the pilot house.
And the gate was on the, was that actually the rear of the ship or the front of the ship where that gate would drop down?
Yeah,
Is that
up
considered
here
the
is
front?
the ramp that dropped down,
Huh.
real heavy built. This is not a particularly good replica. Except, well, the one main problem is that the bow has a bigger slant. It's be more 45 degrees than
Mm-hmm.
what that is out, but the rest of it is
So would this have
pretty
been
accurate.
considered like the LST? Or was that a different?
Oh, no, LST is a lot bigger. This is hard to call it a ship even. It was too big for a boat and too small for a ship really, but it was ocean going. I knew a fellow that was skipper of one that got caught in a typhoon off the Philippines, and there were 2 dozen of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they all survived to their great surprise.
Oh, wow.
It must have been one hell of a couple days. But these things would ride on top of an LST.
Oh.
Then the LST would ballast over, and these would slide off the side of the big splash, and away you go.
Was that actually the number of your ship was 1377?
Yeah. There were 935 of this model made. There was another model made, a Mark V, that wasn't near as good a vessel. And the British had 1, 2, 3, and 4 models, which were much different than these.
Mm-hmm.
But these came in 3 sections, about there and here, and it could be carried on top of a regular freighter, most of which had 5 holes and So they put one of these sections on each hatch cover.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, huh.
So you would have one and, well, what? And you'd have one and two sections left over.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally the ship would get told to go someplace else before the other section would show up on another ship. But that was kind of unusual. But,
Kind of hard to sail 2/3 of a ship, huh?
yeah. But
Were those like latches or bolts where the sections were put together?
yeah, they were bolted together,
Oh.
which was, it was a good job for a kid, I tell you. He had a lot of responsibility. Yeah.
Let me step over to this other side. And at each of those sections, then they would be loaded by a crane or something?
Yeah, and the whole thing would be lifted up in one piece after it was put together. I never knew of any being taken apart after they were once put together.
Oh.
And it was it was about 150 tons, so it took a big crane to lift them.
Oh. And then mostly you'd carry cargo or troops in the bed on this, or what did you carry mostly?
Well, we could carry 6 medium tanks, Sherman tanks, but that was a little unusual. Just general freight of all kinds. They'd go to a big freighter and they'd load you up with you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'd get a large load of booze and kind of had to sort through it.
This one stays, this one goes, this one goes.
Yeah. And they were destined for officers' club. And there was enough in the load that you couldn't really steal the whole thing. Yeah, well, any kind of cargo you want. Groceries, paint, you name it.
But these were these rated by weight as far as for what kind of seas you were working in? Because it's like the walls are kind of low on the sides. But you had a lot of waves crashing or breakers coming over?
Oh, you'd have to be a pretty heavy going situation that you would not get into voluntarily.
Mm.
But they were actually practically unsinkable because the hull was just a collection of steel boxes, more like a pontoon, just full of steel boxes that hard to sink.
Oh.
Not the only way you could if they would turn over, and that would be disastrous. But that was very unusual too. They had to be in a typhoon to have that happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're real seaworthy.
Well,
They're fast too, as you can tell by looking at their sleek lines.
Yes.
Yeah, so they go 8 knots and they're loaded right, and the tailwind.
Oh. Nice. Excellent. Well, thank you. I really appreciate this. Let me sign it off right here.